Absolutely. My name is Cathy Parson. I am the head women's basketball coach at Central State University. To my right is my senior, Laurene Tere, and to my left is Kailyn Nash. And, we just had a bittersweet moment. It's the end of a season. And it was, a very difficult thing to watch because I know what my young people are capable of, and I don't think it was truly reflective for 40 minutes today. For that, my heart grieves. For the lady on my right, who is Laurene Tere, who is a senior. And that kind of memory is a tough one to go out with, but I know it does equip you for the rest of your life to be tenacious, to fight for everything you desire in life. And I felt like she gave me those minutes tonight, knowing that it was her last opportunity to be a marauder in that uniform in the SIAC. So I think from that perspective, I can certainly be grateful for the display of being able to hang in there and to finish strong. Kailyn actually finished the game with 8 blocks, so of course that's phenomenal. And you can't not give praise for that. But then I can go back and look at what I'm accustomed to for my program and for my team. I can say we fell short of that today. And I'm certain each of them will say the same, because we have been a team that could put points on the board. We play hard, but we haven't gotten a full definition of what it means to go hard all the time. And when you meet someone who says you better go hard because I'm going another level higher, we didn't respond to that as well as I thought we should have. But that's why we're young now and we're going to get better. So from that perspective, once again, we have an amazing future ahead. And I certainly wish Laurene Tere the best because she's a phenomenal young woman who's an entrepreneur, and I know she'll do great things. And of course, Kailyn is going to leave the sophomore experience to become a junior. So all of that experience is coming with us again on next year. I'm watching young people grow up, and I'm truly blessed by the experience.
So, Laurene, Kailyn, if you could just speak on your individual performances today.
Today, I know, we were, oh, sorry for my voice. We were going up against Tuskegee. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. So I just came up with the mindset that I just have to play hard for 40 minutes and just do anything I could do to help my team.
Like Laurene said, we knew it was going to be a pretty tough match, but I think we could have beat them, but we came out slow. Me personally, I came out slow. I wasn't very dependable today, but just got to work on growing and getting better, being more reliable. So,
Laurene, if you could just talk a little bit about, what this season has meant for you as a senior, just even as an entrepreneur, just, how did the season prepare you?
Like prepare me for
life, or just playing under Coach Parson?
Playing under Coach Parson. We all learned a lot of things from her. She really cares about our emotional state. So after practice, before practice, after the game, we always talk. She taps into our personal life and just where our minds are. So I feel like this season really helps me go into the real world to just know to just be a leader and just do everything to the best of your ability.
Yeah, question for Laurene. Last shot you take as a Lady Marauder falls there towards the end. I know it's not the score you want, but has that moment sunk in that was your last shot take?
No, it didn't sink in yet. But once we get on the bus and stuff, I think about it dang, that was my last. So yeah.
Good memory. Kailyn, you had to go up for most of the night against the SIAC Player of the Year, Shayla, and of course you led the conference in scoring the first team yourself. So going into this game, was there any extra motivation going up against her, or was it just another game and I'm going to do my thing?
Honestly, I was just trying not to, gas it. I know I can play with anybody, and I'm young, but I think that just gave me a reason to carry that chip on my shoulder, So.
And Coach mentioned 8 blocks tonight, which ties a season high. I believe you set the school record this year for Division II school record for blocks in the season. So talk about that.
I didn't know that. Okay, that feels pretty good. I think that's just a stepping stone for me to break it next year. So, yeah, that feels great, actually.
Coach, obviously not the result you wanted. But got that first tournament win as
Yeah.
CSU head coach,
Yes.
and obviously advanced a little bit deeper this
Sure.
year. So how do you take that going forward into next year?
It's definitely an increase, and once it's all said and done, you look for the incremental growth, and we have had that this year. One of the problems that I've had with my team collectively is just recognizing where they started from and where we are currently. And from that perspective, I know my work is not in vain. There is work that's being observed, and the young women are actually receiving it, though there's times where it looks like it's not growing. But I'm reminded of anything that's planted, there's a period where you don't see the growth, but one day it blooms. And I'm looking for that for this program as well. And I can tell you that emotionally, I mean, I feel everything. So I feel this. This is tough, but I know brighter days are coming. And these amazing young women are going to do incredible things. And there's going to be amazing stories written about it. But for right now, we got to take this bitter one and deal with how and why it feels the way it does. And boy, I can tell you the sting is real. So.
A little bit about the talent in the SIAC. You played a very good team today.
Yeah. Yes.
You led a team in Tuskegee.
Yeah.
You've been playing teams all year, Grand Valley State's
Yes.
top 25 ranked teams. You have probably D1 talent next to you. in Kailyn.
Absolutely.
So talk about the talent in the SIAC and what do you think? I mean, can Tuskegee go and make some noise and potentially this tournament?
When I compare them, and granted, there's so much that's involved in the psyche of the game and how young people prepare and being able to make the move and then the counter move and the counter response. And I believe that so many teams that I see in the SIAC are just so very athletic, but I need to see that level of response grow to the next level so that you know that caliber of play. Athletically, they can play with anyone, but are they deep enough, and can they make the counter decisions to be able to withstand the correct decision in the right time to be the victor? That's questionable for me. I don't know that answer, because when I look at what they did to us on number 3, Miss Jackson, she's so long and wiry. And I told my players, do not try to go over top of her. Go into her, go around her, draw a foul. We may have drawn one on her. But those are the kinds of things that she's so imposing, kids forget. So once they forget, now you're turning the ball over. I'm not sure they're going to have that liberty every time they play this game. As the caliber of performance goes higher, teams are bigger, and now you bring a level of intellect. Now I'm going around you, I'm going to draw a foul on you, they're going to call that on you, now that changes the complexity. She was the team today. She was 5 for 15. Make sure, because I want to make sure my numbers are right.
Jatori.
Yep, number 3, there you go. She was 12 for 20. She had 27 points. She demolished us herself. We had 28 turnovers. She demolished us. And I told them how to. It didn't happen. So, did I answer your question? I'm telling you that I don't know, because they're not going to have that advantage everywhere they go. Mm-hmm.
So for me, what was the message going into halftime and how to handle the press and the trap?
I told them stop going into them. So the key to that is to attack, go around, and then kick up. They got lulled into the side because it looks appealing. It looks very appealing. But I asked you not to pick it up there. Go back to the middle, and you saw what you saw. So I think at the end of the day, it's about following instruction. Maybe it's about being able to hear.
So
Maybe it's a combination of both. I mean, I honestly can't answer that because I know what we should have done. I watched what we did.
So this is for the players and for the coach and for the players. You can chime in. So it doesn't shoot any free throws. So does it have to do with aggression or just good defense by Tuskegee?
I think we just need to focus on just finishing around the basket, even if you do get hit.
I also have one more question. So what was the mindset defensively going into the game over the course of the game? What adjustments did you make defensively?
Defensively, I asked them to do what I initially asked you to do, and that is close out stronger. In our game against Allen, we closed out ultra strong, and as a result, they succumbed to the pressure. Today, they ignored our presence, so that means we didn't push up as hard as we could have. I think the presentation of awards affected us. I think watching how great they are and they have the hardware to prove it affected us. If I had my druthers, I probably would have went back to the locker room before that, just so we could skip that part, because I know psychologically it plays a part of it. But that's part of the game as well. So you're growing up in those ways. But I do want to go back to your question about fouls. I teach my players to play a rhythmatic game. So with everything, there's an amount of time that it requires for you to complete it. When you speed it up, chances are that shot is off. If you can get in the air and hang, take the hit and finish, that's called a three-point play. We're not very good at that yet. So as we get better at it, my entry passing has to be better. My posting up has to be better. They did a good job because they're much bigger. Their wingspan is much longer in many instances, and I felt like they took advantage of that. But the thing that I do want to point out to you, Naomi got to the line more because that's my point guard, and I taught her, if you want to draw a foul, if this is the individual defending you, get to the inside on the edge. Once you touch her here, go up, that draws the foul. But if you didn't grow up knowing that, I can say it to you. Now you got to interpret what I've taught you. I've taught you how, but are you living it yet? And that's what you're seeing with the development of my program at this time. This is my second year coaching. So when you realize I've only had this group for 2 years, but my background in the game is I played at West Virginia University. I played professionally. I've coached professionally. Now I'm trying to give this information to my young people, and that's not the easiest of tasks. It takes time. But the one thing that I know is that it will come to fruition if I don't quit. So I'm not going to quit, so they're not going to quit. She's going to go on, and she's going to come back, and she's going to be very proud. But it does take time. There were moments of today that it was quite embarrassing. It was hurtful, though, to have to watch. But the part of it is you recover from that, but you don't forget. And as you don't forget, everything means more to you when it comes to executing.
Well, thank you all so much for taking time and speaking with us today, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you, ma'am.